Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let us know you're here. Leave a comment. We got a great guest for you today, man. This is going to be one hell of an interview I'm excited about it. Been watching this man fight for the past year since I started covering BKFC more closely. And the man puts on a show. He's 7-0. He he's the self-proclaimed champ. And I know he's got some fights that he wants. I got Justin Joyboy Ibarrola in the building. My brother, you
What's
had
up,
your
my
own
man?
you had your own belt. And the last time I saw you, I know I missed you. You were in Clearwater?
I was in Clearwater.
I was in the back. They put us all the way in the back, man. I didn't see you. It was really dark in there, so I couldn't really see much of
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Well, you were in Clearwater. You saw the job that Ryan Reber did. I know he called you out. And I saw your video saying, let's do it at the grandest stage of them all at the Hard Rock. I know that's
That's
your.
right.
What are your thoughts of that fight?
I mean, me and Ryan, I called him out my third fight last February, actually, in a post fight press conference, and he was back there, and we exchanged words. But ever since then, like, we follow each other on the gram. Sometimes we'll be DMing each other, talking shit. We know there's a fight between us, ready to happen. There's no there's no like bad blood or nothing. We just bicker back and forth, making jokes, talking shit, normal shit. But I mean, I just think that's the best fight for the fans right now. If it's not for the title, it'll be against him for sure. Because we're the two most active fighters on the roster. We got the most fights out of every bantamweight. So I mean, why not just show the people like he got 8 fights. I got 7 fights. I just think it's a good fight.
What did you think of that environment up in Clearwater? I mean, it was a different type of environment, outdoor, under the hangar, and it's pretty damn hot as well.
Yeah,
What were
it
your
was
thoughts of
hot.
the environment?
I loved it. I mean, I like that. Like it was like a little. It just felt like just underground like type shit. It was just cool. Like I would love to fight on a show like that, even though it's a smaller show. It just feels more intimate because everyone's just jam packed in there. You can see every fan's face. Those are the crowds that go the craziest. So no, I thought it was really cool, honestly.
I mean, the crowd was live. I mean, they had a lot of hometown fighters there, and they got loud for all their hometown fighters for sure. From what I saw, I mean, it was loud in that building.
Yeah, it was good.
So you're having a baby, man, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I got to talk about this. I mean, because you're looking to prepare for a fight. You have a pregnant significant other, and I mean, what is that like? What has that been like for you? As a fighter and trying to maintain, and because it life changes, man, when you have a kid and when your wife and when your girlfriend or fiance or whatever are pregnant, type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I try to always do my best and just step up as a man and just get what has to get done. Not a lot of complaints. I wake up early in the morning, get the shit I need to get done, get the training I need to get done, come home, take care of her with whatever she needs, try to pick up around the house more, and then go back to training. So a very repetitive cycle in my weekly activities, but that's just my life as a fighter now.
Hmm.
There's there's I'm just not overcomplicating it. It's simple. It's just do what you gotta do.
Do you know if you're having a boy or a girl yet?
Not yet. No. So
Not
we're gonna
yet.
find out. We're gonna find out next week.
Okay, dope,
We're-
dope. The one thing about having a baby that most guys don't know is that when she's having one, you're having one. So, but you're a fighter, so you can't eat all the you can't be the garbage compactor for her when she wants all these meals, and then says, "Well, you need to finish this for me." It's like, no,
Oh man,
I gotta make weight. That's
I
gonna
still
work.
do it though. It's bad.
You
It's
still,
bad, bro. I still do it. Listen,
Really?
I got a special gift because I don't know how I make 135 with the way I be eating every month. You
Really?
know, I make it happen, but like when I gotta get shit done, I'm always gonna get shit done. I'm not worried about it. When I know shit's got to get done, I'm gonna find one way or
Mm,
another, and
yeah.
we're gonna make it happen. I'm not gonna just just what it is.
I mean, I gained 35 pounds last year when my wife was pregnant. So, and
you know, I,
I've lost about 35 pounds in the last 3 months because yeah, I got
yeah.
fat as hell.
And the more opportunities that are getting ahead of me, and the older I get, it's a lot easier to like, lock in and
Mhm.
stay more disciplined. So it's actually getting easier for me.
You are the busiest fighter in the BKFC. You fought 4 times last year. You've already fought. Have you already fought twice this year?
Once.
No, say once. It was twice the year before that. So it was twice in 23, 4 times in 24, right?
Yeah, five
And
fights in 13 months.
I, that's impressive. I mean, that's definitely what any fighting organization would want in a fighter, someone who's going to show up to fight all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Is July 12th? Have they talked to you about July 12th yet?
Yeah, we're gonna fight July 12th.
Mhm.
I haven't announced it yet. I'm always throwing teasers, just leading up to it until the contract's signed. Um, but yeah, we're fighting July 12th for sure.
Well, what is it like fighting at the Hard Rock? I mean, because you fought there a number of times. I mean, it's a live ass event. I mean, and then you're at the Hard Rock as well. So you
Yeah,
walk out and it's a party in itself.
yeah. I mean, the more people, the better I'm gonna do, man. I'm just all about the lights like
Mhm.
that. None of that shit bugs me. It motivates me. I'm not one of those guys who, you know, I'm not the great fighter in the gym and training, and then when the lights come on, I'm do like shit. I'm the opposite actually. I have all my hardships happen in the
Mhm.
gym and my training sessions. And then when the show comes on, I'm like a different person. So
So did you say in a previous interview in a press conference, and maybe I'm incorrect, that you weren't really into fighting when you were younger, and that when you got into a gym, that was really your first time really fighting? Was that
yeah,
was that you? Was that you who said that?
yeah. I wasn't like I was the quiet kid growing up.
Yeah.
I shied away from as many people as I could. I didn't get into too many conflicts. I wrestled
Mhm.
growing up, but even then, I still didn't. Yeah, man. I mean, just fighting wasn't cool to me. It was scary.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I still had that dream like that. Like I wanted to be, a fighter. But that came from the fear. Like because I had that fear, I wanted to do it.
Okay.
So I didn't really, dude. I didn't punch anybody in the face until I was 19 years old, and I was in the boxing ring as an amateur.
That was I remember you. I could swear you had said that in the press conference. It don't seem like wait, man's fighting BKFC and didn't get into a fight outside of a ring. I mean, usually you talk to guys and they're I've been fighting since I was like 9. I
Yep.
love to fight. I love to I'll
I
meet you
haven't
in
punched
the
anybody. I have never punched anybody in the face, bare hand, bare fist, until my first bare knuckle fight. And that was 2 years ago. So I've never punched anyone in the face until I was 25 years old.
and that's insane. I mean, that's an awesome story because when you say that when you're training with gloves, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you ever train at all, even in training just to get used to bare hands in the gym?
Um, Last year, I mean, I was punching the Makiwara board and like the wooden
Yeah.
boards at one
But no
point.
but no faces.
Oh no, bro, no,
So
no.
you had not punched someone in the face, period, with bare hands until you fought in BKFC.
And I've never been punched in the face bare hand.
That's awesome. That's insane, man. I mean, when people think about like, yeah, like I said, I've talked to so many fighters. And it's like I've been fighting since I was a kid. I mean, I just think that's when did that switch turn that you wanted to be a fighter, where he's like, I'm doing this and I want to do this.
um, I mean, I quit fighting on plenty of occasions. You know, after after my sixth amateur fight. I quit after my first
Really?
pro boxing fight. I quit after my first bare knuckle fight. I was like, I'm not doing this shit again. Um, and then I don't know, man. It was just the environment I was around, the environment I was at. Like I didn't feel fulfilled yet, and I still don't. So it's like I don't know. I'm looking something to fulfill that void, and it's really what it is just to make some noise around the world. That's the void I'm trying to fill. You know.
That's why. I mean, so does with every fight, do you feel more fulfilled, or is it you're still looking for that?
Still looking for that. I'm never satisfied. I'm never
Okay.
satisfied. That's one of my. I'll call that a strength of mine. You know, I'm never
Okay.
satisfied. I'm always humble. You know, I could win 20 fights and I still, I'm not gonna be, walk around like I'm better than anybody. You know, so there's always something to level up on for me in my head. I don't
Mhm.
care what anybody else is think. If people think I'm at the top and people think I'm unbeatable in my head, that's not the case. I still need to train hard and still got to prove that I am unbeatable and that no one can really beat me.
Mhm.
Um, so it's just a constant battle with challenge with myself, constant challenge with myself. I'm never
Mhm.
satisfied.
Well, yeah. I mean, when people become content is when they fall off, and that's
Right.
obviously not something that you ever want to have as a fighter. You'd mentioned Uriah Faber though after the fight. Was that a joke, or was like, look, you want to get Uriah Faber in a bare knuckle
Nah, let's
fight?
get some big fights happening. You guys
Yeah.
know, so I've said
Yeah.
it all the time. Like I don't want the belt.
Yeah.
I don't want the belt, and there's a reason why I don't want a belt. Everyone's over here throwing out words saying, "Oh, he doesn't want to fight Blas, this, and that." I don't care who has the belt. You could put the best fighter in the world holding that belt, whoever that may be, and I could be fucking 8-5, and I'll fight for that fucking belt. It doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about I don't want to be the so-called champion and nobody knows who the fuck I am. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not like I'm not gonna be some loser champion. Who am I to walk around with this belt and then I got everyone looking at me like, who the fuck is that guy? Like I just look like I'm wearing a Halloween costume at that point. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I'm like as humbly as I could say it, I'm trying to build that clout.
Yeah.
I want millions of people to know who I am. I want to walk in a room and people to recognize that's the bare knuckle champion. I want people to start, mentioning my name more,
Mhm.
before I become champion, before I could become champion, because who knows Bloss? Nobody knows who Bloss is, bro. Unless you're from Miami, no one knows
Yeah.
who he is. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not that's lame. That's lame to me. That's just me. That's my own personal opinion.
Mhm.
And the Uriah Faber thing is like, he's a big name from the UFC. Chad Mendez fought for BKFC. I've seen Uriah work his corner.
Oh, okay.
Uriah Faber trained with Keith Richardson. Keith Richardson's
Mhm.
in my division. So it was like
Mhm.
just big name. Me and my manager were thinking about who should we like, stir the pot with. And
Mhm.
Uriah Faber came up because there's some
Yeah.
connections that he already
Gotcha.
had with
Okay.
people in the BKFC. So, it might anything I do might not make sense to anybody until it happens, and it'll all make
Okay.
sense.
It's strategic for sure. I mean, this is a business. I mean, end of the day, this is a business, and you're in the business of fighting, and the biggest names are what helps elevate your name when you win.
Yeah, man. I'm a strong believer in things that come fast and things that come quick don't last very long. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So, if I go rushing for that title and or I don't want to throw anybody's names in there, um, but I mean, a lot of people in BKFC who've won the title very quickly in their career ended up losing it.
Mhm.
And have you heard of those people ever since? No,
Pretty much no. Yeah.
no, they're
Yeah.
gone. They're old news.
Mhm.
People think they're done.
Mhm.
That's not going to be me. I'm gonna establish myself as one of the best BKFC fighters first
Hmm.
before I go on trying to run for that belt.
Hmm. So are you a native of South Florida? I know you train out of Delray Beach and all that. Are you native of South Florida and are you part Filipino or
Yeah, I'm Filipino. Yeah,
and
yeah. I'm from Seattle originally.
okay,
That's where I grew up, 19 years, and then I moved down here when I was 19
okay.
to pursue a career in fighting.
Hmm.
Um, I had like some family down here who was willing to help support me.
Okay.
Um, but I'm Filipino. My Filipino Korean comes from my mom's side, and I'm Puerto Rican. My dad's Puerto Rican.
Is that Sanchez?
That's the Sanchez, but
Okay.
no one knows me as Sanchez down here.
No, I grew up in my elementary school. I had a lot of people that were from the Philippines that moved down to Miami Beach when I grew up, and um, some of the hardest working, most humble people I've ever met
Yeah,
in my life. And it seems like every Filipino mom was a nurse.
yeah.
Is that something that you've seen as
No, it's funny. I
the
have my aunts. They're like Vietnamese, Cambodian, but they're nurses. It's funny. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's
they're
funny.
all very caring and they're just really nurturing people and like even the ones that I grew up with the daughters became a nurse, the son is a physical therapist, and it's
Yeah,
like everything within the medical profession and all
yeah,
that. So I just always found that to be like, wow, everyone's a nurse, man. It's
yeah. That's
you know.
true. It's true.
Mhm.
It's
So is that something that you take from growing up, being the humility and from the cultural perspective?
um. I I wouldn't say from the cultural
'Cause they were very
perspective.
humble. They were always very humble. They were never very braggadocio or anything like that. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, I just always like I said, I grew up the quiet kid. I don't know if
Mhm,
I would translate that to the culture. I mean, I grew up in a very crazy household. I
okay,
mean, it was a mixture of different things, but I mean, ever since I was a kid, I was just the quiet one, always trying
okay,
to stay out of trouble, stay out of conflict, try to survive growing
mhm.
up. That was it.
So you got Conor McGregor involved in BKFC now. What is your take on his involvement and just obviously he brings a large character, larger than life presence,
Yeah.
and being around that, have you had a chance to talk to him and
Yeah.
ever
Yeah,
pick
my
his
last
brain on
fight,
things?
I think I really got his attention my last fight.
Mhm,
He was running around telling everybody I was the superstar of the night.
mhm,
I know how to make my presence, in on fight night. So I think he really enjoyed it. I think he saw himself in me when it came into the entertainment, and I mean I think Connor is great for the sport. He's a freaking lunatic, but it's great for the sport. And we're all lunatics, and
yeah.
I'm just as crazy too. So
So,
no, it's
so
good. There's a lot of resemblance between me and Connor. Yeah, people don't see it because they don't promote me like they should. I don't think, but you know when the time comes, and people will realize.
So you did in a couple of your weigh-ins that I saw, you had some props and stuff like that, and the one you had a Christmas list, the naughty and nice list. Last fight you didn't do any of that stuff. Was there any
Yeah.
and I know I asked you that after the fight, but I'm gonna ask again. Was there any particular reason? Was this more business trip now, or what was the difference? Because I mean, the naughty and nice list I thought was funny. And then I think there was one you had the mistletoe where you put it over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those things are
No,
memorable. Those things are memorable.
I'm always planning to do something, whether
Mhm,
at weigh-ins or my walkout or fight.
mhm.
After the fight. Um, it was just there was a little bit more seriousness. That was one. I was still trying to enjoy it, but I was kind of like in a I don't give a fuck kind of mentality, and it was just like, man, I don't give a fuck to do that this time. That it wasn't me trying to like be more locked in. I was more locked in, but it had nothing to do about that. It was just man, I just kind of a little bit of laziness in a way. Like, I don't want to do it this time. I don't give a fuck. Let's just go in there, fight, knock this dude out and go home.
Was this your toughest fight to date in your opinion? I mean, because it was one where you overcame some a little bit of adversity, caught you a little bit, marked you
Hmm.
up a little bit, and came
Hmm.
back and you finished the fight. I mean, was that what you expected? I mean, was that your toughest go so far? And did you learn
I def-
and did you learn something about yourself in that fight?
yeah, I mean, I expected it. Watching his tape, I knew he was just the aggressive type, wild type. I knew he was gonna come in with crazy combinations and punches coming from different angles. So I expected that. As far as toughest fight, I wouldn't say it was my toughest fight because I kept my composure. I was calm the entire time. Nothing he did really like phased me or made me go, "Oh shit!" Like I need to do, like that. I would say my toughest fight would be between my very first bare knuckle fight because I just had some guys who was walking through everything I threw at him, and then the Justin Street fight was my second toughest probably because I was kind of just fucking around. I wasn't disciplined that camp. And I was fucking around. I was getting cocky with him. Um, and he was yeah. I don't know. It was just one of those fights. Um, but no, I have yet to fight someone who is necessarily challenging. Um, because if you're gonna the most challenging fighters are gonna be the gritty guys who are just willing to keep walking forward no matter what I throw at them. And honestly, there's no one on the roster who I think is gonna be like that because I hit hard, bro. I don't have any clean knockouts, but I hit hard. When I hit you, you want to quit. Every guy I stopped refused to get up. You know, and yeah, man, I'm not gonna be out here and say that they're easy. They're
Mhm,
easy fights, but as far as like tough and challenging, I don't know. I mean, it's all very similar. Each fight is very similar. It's hit and don't get hit.
mhm.
That's my main goal.
Did you see something in the fight with Ryan Reber this past week or last week? It was last week Friday that from his style, uh, and I don't know if you want to obviously answer the question because it might be giving away a strategic approach. But was there something in his style that you see you could take advantage of, or that you're like, I see something there that I can exploit? Because that
Yeah,
was a tough fight he had this past week, and I mean, I know I watch him fight, and I see that when he's backing up, he's probably not doing as well, but when he comes forward, this is just my perspective. I mean, forward, he's doing better. What do you see when you watch a guy like Ryan Reber?
I see it just how you see it, man. I think we all see it just how you see it.
Mhm,
I think we all think the same thing. Um, uh, like I'm not gonna, say anything particular to give anything away, like you said. But
yeah.
I will say, if you are a fighter who likes to come forward, you're gonna. That's when I do my best.
Okay.
So, like Blas, Reaver, if you like to walk forward, that's when I do my best. So you're not going to it's not going to be a fight you think it's going to be where you're going to walk me down and bully me. Like I do better when guys are walking me down. Like I like to tee off on guys who are walking me down. I like to make those guys miss. I like to, you know, cut angles and make them, try to figure out which way I'm going. Like those are the easiest guys to fight for me.
If there was a fight to come up that where they call you and say we want you to fight Bloss, is that a fight you would take right now, or
Not with what I'm getting paid.
it's a business? I get you.
Not with what I'm getting paid. I could why fight Bloss when I could fight Reaver for the same amount?
Is there any other fighter on the roster that would be in your that you're seeing right now that you'd want to fight with? I mean, you're ranked number one. That's the
That's the
problem. You're ranked number one. You're the
that's the
number one
problem,
contender.
right? That's the
That's the
problem.
problem.
Listen,
You're the number one contender. Who the hell else do you want to fight? you
uh,
know.
listen.
Should we call Connor to drop to 135 so you guys can do an exhibition or something?
Yeah, bro, like listen. There's nobody interesting for me to fight on the current BKFC's roster right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I say that as humbly as possible. There's no
Yeah.
one interesting enough for that makes me want to fight or even call anybody out. For one, nobody has as many fights as me, so it's not as interesting. You got guys who have two, three fights. 2-1. They might be 3-0. Cool, but like who are like you're not interesting to me. Like if you want to fight me, call me out. Try to make a fight for me. You know, tell Dave to send me a contract and send me a paycheck. That's gonna make sense for me. You know,
Hmm.
and none of these guys give me that right now. You know, I'm number one, like you said. I'm the best in the division. So why would I be calling out fighters who are below me? Those guys need to call me out and you know if Dave is like, okay, that's the fight we have to make, Justin. This is the only guy you can fight. Like I'm not gonna send you anybody else that you ain't picking. Okay, then that's who I'm fighting. You know,
Hmm.
that it is what it is. Like I said, I'm about the big fights. You tell me, freaking uh someone from the UFC with a big name wants to come, like freaking who's some 135ers? Like you tell me, hey, I'll fight Sean O'Malley if at bare knuckle at 135 because I know
That'd be fun.
what am I gonna get out of it? For one, I'm gonna get a massive paycheck from that, so it's worth it to
Mhm.
me. And two, he's actually a good competitor. You know, he has his reputation already. So that's interesting to me, you know, or boxers like Regis Prograis when he had his last fight on the zone, he mentioned maybe I'll fight bare knuckle. Give me Regis at 140. That's a great fight, you know. Like I'm in it for the like interesting fights. I'm not in it for the rankings or to be out here saying, you know, I could be 10-0 and you could put me at rank number 5. I don't give a fuck. That doesn't do shit for me. Like give me interesting fights. Make it interesting. I do this shit for fun. I do this shit because I genuinely enjoy it. You
Yeah.
know? I genuinely enjoy it. I enjoy the entertainment. I enjoy the shit talking, the back and forth, you know. I enjoy that shit. So the moment it becomes boring to me and uninteresting, I don't want to do it.
Mm. What is your walk around weight? Do you walk around at 145 or 150 or I mean you bite it are you do you walk around at pretty much where you fight at?
You want me to lie or tell the truth?
The truth would be helpful because I mean I was gonna follow up with another question, but
I'm like 156.
okay. So you would
Like
fight at four would,
156.
would you fight at 45?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get heavy. I've been
Okay.
heavier. I've been
Yeah.
heavier. Like I've gotten up to like 163. You
Okay.
know, I've been there, but that's me. That's me stuffing my face. Got a little chub on it. You know, but
That's
at a
good.
lean,
Uh-huh.
but at a lean, healthy weight, I'm like 156.
Oh, because yeah. The next question was me. I mean, there's options at 45 at featherweight.
Yeah,
Would those fights excite you, get you more jacked up to take on? Since pretty much you outside of Keith Richardson, you and Reber, you fought everybody pretty much and beat everybody in the division, and obviously Blas.
yeah, yeah,
But there's fights at 145 that might be of interest. Just curious on that.
yeah. I'll fight at 145. Like I said, I'm about the interesting fights, right? Who's the most interesting fighter at 145? Kai Stewart. Are they going to give me Kai Stewart if I go up to 145? Absolutely not, right?
Mhm.
So, what do I have to do? I have to win the belt at 135 eventually, and now I have some leverage. All right, Kai, I'm the champ. You're the
Mhm.
champ. Let's make an interesting fight out of it, you know?
Mhm. There's some other
But
fights I think that'd be interesting fights for you.
well,
I
tell me,
mean, I
tell me,
mean, I mean, Duran,
Durant.
Howard Davis. Those
I can't,
are.
I can't fight Howard. That's my nah.
I don't
I
know.
would
I don't
never.
know. I
I would
don't.
never. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you don't know the relationships I have
Yeah,
with
no,
these
I don't. I
guys.
don't. No, I don't.
Well, that's one of my biggest reasons for not going up to 145. You know, I'm a very close friend of Howard. You
Okay.
know, Um, me and Duran became pretty. Me and Duran actually started off because I was talking my shit to Duran, and then he be DMing me, and we got into it at the very beginning, like right when
Yeah.
I got into BKFC. That's how it was. But now Duran's cool. Like we squashed all that.
Hmm.
We're cool. We're on a cool base. Listen, I would like to avoid fighting anybody that I'm like I have mutual respect for,
Okay.
but if it comes down to like those are guys, if I had to fight my friends, or people that I had respect for, it would have to be for the title.
Oh yeah, for
Nothing
sure.
less. I'm not gonna fight Howard or Duran just because they're 145 ranked. Whatever their rank. I don't know their rankings right now, but
Mm, mhm.
yeah, yeah,
No, I asked that because yeah, those are fights that
yeah.
I think would be big
Yeah.
fights if they
Like
were to
like
happen.
like
Because
uh like like a lot of people ask me about Chris Garcia. Like me and Chris Garcia, we've trained, we've sparred together, we've trained together. He's been in my gym plenty of times. He's cool. He looks after me, I look after him. I'm not gonna fight Chris Garcia unless it's for a belt. I'm not
yeah,
gonna fight my belt.
because I asked I buzzed Howard Davis about when I saw Bryce fight. I didn't realize they were like best friends.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, okay, yeah,
Bryce
okay,
too, yeah.
they're like
Bryce,
best friends.
Howard,
Yeah.
Rambo. I mean,
Hmm.
we all fought in the amateurs together here in Florida.
Hmm.
We've been all three of us. We've been to each other's gym. We've sparred together. I've never sparred Bryce, but me and Howard, plenty of times. Me and Rambo, plenty of times. Me and Jared Grant, when Jared Grant was BKFC champion at one point. He's with BYB right now, fighting for the belt. But I would train with Jared too. Um, a lot of people don't know the accolades that I actually have and the people that I've actually trained with. Like,
Hmm.
that's why I said in my post press conference my last fight, I was like, y'all think I'm some pretty little bitch over here. Like, the people I train with, they know the type of dog I bring out. Like,
Hmm.
dude, I'm a tough motherfucker. You won't realize that until you're sitting across the fucking ring from me, looking me eye to eye, and you punch me in the face, and I just look at you like I just felt nothing. You're not gonna. It's a totally different story from TV to face to face.
Hmm. So David Feldman, give my man here a fight that makes him want to fight somebody, man. That's what we're looking for. And
Yeah.
I'm guessing Reber is probably the next fight that you would want to have at this point. That's my guess. The call outs are there because you're fighting in July. So let's see a
Yeah,
contract get signed. Let's see
yeah,
a
yeah.
contract get signed.
Just know for everybody watching, there's a reason I'm moving how I'm moving.
Hmm.
And until it happens, talk all the shit you want because it don't matter. I'm still gonna do it
Hmm.
how I want to. That's it.
And let's build these fights. This is promotion, man. We got to promote these fights and get
Yeah,
people excited about them for sure.
yeah.
I'm gonna put your Instagram in the description. Of course, I know you're gonna have tickets if the contract's not signed yet, so you don't have tickets yet, right?
Not yet, yeah, not
Yeah,
yet. But I'll have tickets, yeah,
yeah.
soon.
So, folks, if you're interested in
I
going to the
think you
Hard
guys will
Rock,
be surprised who I'm fighting next. I'm not gonna spill no tea, but there's
you, you,
somebody.
you can tell me off, and I won't reveal it if you want to. It's up
I
to you.
got you. All right.
But I won't. I would never reveal if you don't want it revealed. But no, what's interesting is one last thing. You guys are all local for the most part. Some of you guys that fight at Hard Rock are locals. Like is everyone trying to sell tickets to the same people? Because you got
No,
so many of y'all selling tickets. It's
you got your
tough.
Miami guys, you got your
Hmm.
Broward guys, and then I'm solo dolo where I'm at in Florida.
Okay.
No one's selling tickets around me. Like
Okay.
I'm the only guy up here. I have to go down south a lot to get any kind of work.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Got you. Got you.
I'm driving hours a day to just to get
To
my
train.
training.
To
Yeah,
train.
yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
No, that's definitely very interesting because I mean you have to put in. People don't understand how BKFC is just so different.
yeah.
You know, they
I'll tell you why nobody is ever gonna beat me, and it's the
let us
truth.
let us
I'll
know.
tell you why, because nobody trains like me, and I know a lot of people say that, but I really mean it. Nobody invests the way I invest in myself in my training. Like I
Mhm.
put up a lot. Like everyone's you might wonder why I'm always talking about paychecks, paychecks, paychecks. I don't want to fight this guy unless it's worth it. Da, 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 da. Listen, at the end of the day, I know these guys are good. Blas, he's a great fighter. I'm not going to take him on a shitty paycheck because now I'm getting, how am I going to afford the training that I'm going to need to do to even beat him? You know, like it's just the truth. Like we can't just. You guys think we're just getting off the couch in 4 weeks to train, and that's the best you're going to see? No, like it's going to take a couple months, and then it's going to take a lot of money, but there's no one in the BKFC who invests and makes the sacrifices that I do. And that's why no one's ever going to beat me because I'm just more disciplined and more motivated to make this shit happen.
Okay, man. There you have it, folks. We got Justin Joyboy Ibarrola in the house. Oh, one last question. Where did the nickname Joyboy come from?
I got a pretty smile. No, no. I mean, I got it from an anime. I got the name from an anime, One Piece,
Okay.
right? But the reason why I decided to go with it is because it kind of resonates with my personality. You know, if you know me personally, or obviously you know me, you know, in the ring as an entertainer, I'm trying to bring joy,
Yeah.
you know, to the fighting industry, trying to bring excitement. I want to see smiles on everyone's faces. I want to see excitement. You know, I want the, you know, I just want joy for everybody. You know, all it is. So I ran with it. I was like, you know, that's the perfect name for how I'm trying to go about things.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it again, folks. This is Justin Joyboy Ibarrola in the building. I'll link all his social media in the description. I want to thank you so very much. He will be on the card July 12th at the Hard Rock. You do not want to miss this card. He'll be on it. I mean, I know a number of fighters gonna be on this card. This card's gonna be ridiculous, man, from what I'm hearing. Like
Oh yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. So I'm absolutely stoked about this card. But thank you so much again, folks. This is Justin Joyboy Ibarrola. Check out all your information for BKFC at Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.
Up and down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. Up and down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in.